as we grew, and yeah, we added more employees. The business itself, from a growth standpoint, there's complexity, but then we have more people in more areas, and then eventually spread out around different states around the country, and then underlying all that is the business we're in it's this very stressful business for the employees. We have unbelievable employees who do amazing work on behalf of our clients, and we're for a lot of our clients we're kind of their lifeline. And so I mean it's hard, especially when you really do care, which our employees do, to not have it be stressful.
Hmm.
And as you grow, that just kind of that issue just kind of grows along with it. um and
So what
so
were
yeah,
some
one
of
of
the specific things you were noticing? Like what were some of the challenges you were facing in terms of trying to keep your culture strong and being able to maintain a culture that's delivering high levels of service to your clients as you're growing so fast? What were some of the symptoms, I guess, you were seeing of this fast growth that were really a challenge?
Yeah, well, I think that, I mean, just from a culture standpoint in general, I mean, when we went, when we look at, a couple of different snapshots, when I think back to when, we could all be sitting down in the small conference room or a kitchen around a table, and that's the entire firm. It's a very different culture, and I think it's, you know, especially when you have great people, it's a lot easier to have a very tight knit, really good culture. And as you grow and you have more people and maybe different offices, it's hard to maintain those kind of connections and have people feel valued, have them, be able to not have them be burned out in a
Hmm.
stressful job like this. That we had people that were like, no, I want to switch careers. I want to do something else, unfortunately. Or they just, maybe they were still here, but maybe their heart's not in it as much. So I think there, some of those issues. And yeah, I mean, it just, you know, variety of ways that we saw that. Some of it is, maybe some people just left the firm. Other ones would just, you just know that maybe from it's a work performance or just other issues internally that people just aren't feeling great about what they're doing um, at that time.
So you've got, as you're growing really fast, you sounds like turnover is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the quality of service is going down. So, in your estimation, like what do you think would have been the consequences to your firm had you not solved this problem of keeping your culture strong,
Yeah.
where
Well, I
people
think
are thriving?
yeah, I think there's a couple. One is one of the non-negotiable things is we can't provide lower service to our clients. I mean,
Hmm.
that's it's kind of how the firm was built, and our clients just deserve it. They're if you're disabled, or some of we have clients that are catastrophically injured, and I mean, we are their, again, their lifeline. So that had to be maintained, and if anything, we wanted that to go up. We always strive to be better. Certainly can't go down. So that was probably one of the biggest things, and then also trying to be, the legal profession is known to be a difficult profession in general to work in. High stress. There's just, a lot of people are in the business, whether, whatever role they might be, an attorney or a paralegal or a legal assistant, but they might not necessarily feel great about what they're doing.
Hmm.
Maybe they're well compensated and they stay in it. I think you see that in other professions, maybe like the medical profession too. But we wanted to be like, well, we do great work. People should feel really good about what they're doing, especially for what we're doing. But we want people to feel, have that balance of personal and professional lives and feel really good. And when we looked at making some changes, we wanted to, our litmus test was, well, how can we be, the best, not just, well, let's just be a little bit better. How can we maybe be transformative and be like a place that people are referring their friends and family members and acquaintances to be like, hey, I'm excited about where I work. um I think there's an opening here. That's the kind of place we wanted to be. You think that's kind of place I'd like to work at. I've always, I didn't work at places like that all the time. And then also being in a people-oriented service business, the better somebody feels about what they're doing and where they're at, that's going to translate into the work that they do on behalf of our clients. So it's, I mean, really, it's looking at, I mean, there's so many benefits, and we're like, okay, well, how, it's not a matter of if we wanted to do it, we felt we had to do it, but then what's the best path to go down and aim really high.
Mm. So you're in an industry where it's kind of known for being high stress, especially if you're a junior attorney. I mean, I know I've talked to a number of attorneys, but some of them I know very well, who are no longer practicing because they started off their careers at some large law firm, and they were expected to be doing 80 to 100 hours a week for years, and
Yep.
they couldn't do that for too long before they said this is not how I want to live my life. So you're in an industry where the profession is known, the industry is known for kind of being inherently stressful, and instead of just shooting for, hey, we'd like to not be too stressful, you actually wanted to be like, hey, let's have a great place to work. Let's
Yeah.
have this be a place to work where everyone thinks of Google, right? Like, oh, I'm going to go work for Google and it'll be great. That may or may not be true depending on what part of the company you're in.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, probably what you're aiming for, right? Is to be a place where people really would love to come and refer people, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what were some of the steps that you took? Because I know there was probably some rough years in there, right? Where you're growing so fast and you're realizing, man, the culture is not as strong as we would like it to be. You've got
Yeah.
high turnover. Maybe you see service levels declining, which is absolutely unacceptable. What did you do to kind of turn things around and be able to continue to grow but still maintain that strong culture?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's a few different things. I mean, one of it is, me and my partner Zach Schmal, we spent a lot of time in our conference room, our strategy room, thinking, well, we have great people, we have a great core, we have a great firm, but yeah, we have these issues. We have turnover issues. We have, we just know that just partially just from growing and growing fairly fast. Uh, some things that we weren't doing perfectly. So part of it is just we're not doing everything right, or we're not doing everything optimally. Kind of that acceptance that we can do better. And then, well,
And
how?
by that, when you say we, you mean specifically the senior leaders, right? Where
Yes,
you're having the honesty, the self-awareness to say, hey, the culture's on us, right? If it's not the way we want to see it, it's there's only one place to look, and that's to us, the
yeah,
senior
just
leaders, right?
taking ownership of that. And
Cool.
and I think that part was kind of easy because if you want to do better, well, you have to, and the issues are there. You just have to, acknowledge that, and then also acknowledge that maybe you're part of the problem, but you absolutely need to be the part of the solution, or at least working with a small group within the company to make those changes.